Hello, and welcome to the much anticipated update video for my insect deck. Because, you see, a lot of things have changed for insect cards since I made my original video a long time back. Namely, Dawn of Majesty happened. Now, should I have made this update video much earlier than today? Probably. However, here I am now, so let's dig in. As always, I'm gonna go over the sort of basic outline of what my deck is, and then we'll dig a little deeper into how all the combos work after that. So, right off the bat here, we have the perfectly ultimate Great Moth, the boss monster of the deck, sort of. This is why I built an insect deck, not gonna lie. It is to use this card. Is it particularly good? No, but as I always say, if you're not having fun, what the heck are you doing? So I use the perfectly ultimate Great Moth. And the Metamorphosed Insect Queen. I run both of these at 1. I used to have 2 of the Insect Queen, now I only have 1 because you don't really need redundant copies of them. Here we have Parasite Paranoid, which helps you make those giant insect boss monsters, and they stop your opponents from attacking. They're sort of hand traps in that way. And they also turn your opponent's monsters into insects, which is kind of relevant. So it's a very good card. Of course, when it dies, you get to just play something for free. It's good stuff. Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. I have 2 of these. They combo really well with Parasite Paranoid to get another insect for free. And Super Polymerization. Why do I run this? Well, you're just gonna have to wait and find out now, won't you? Gokapole. I used to have this at 3, I have it at 1 now, because it is so easy to get this thing into play, or into your graveyard. You don't need more than 1. And if it dies, you just shuffle it back into your library anyway. It's not difficult to do. So, yeah, that's fine. And 2 shiny black sea squatters. This would probably be better as a smaller normal insect, because Gokapole cares about how weak the normal monster is, and having a normal monster with 2000 attack is cool, but it might not work the best for this particular use. But whatever, this is foil and it's awesome. If you want to run Petite Moth instead of this, go for it, I won't stop you, it would probably be better. Resonance Insect. Again, we run this bad boy at 3 because it is extremely good. When it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you add a big bug to your hand, and when it's banished from anywhere, if it's just banished, then you add another insect monster from your deck to the graveyard. So you're just always searching for bugs and throwing them all over the place. Doomdozer, very popular target for that Resonance Insect because you can use it to then banish it from the graveyard, triggering its other effect. Very powerful. Humongous is a large enough insect that it can be searched for, and it is a kaiju, so you can use this to get rid of your opponent's monsters that are otherwise nigh impossible to deal with. A useful card, very good to have. Insects actually have a couple very good kaijus. Battle Wasp, Sting the Poison, and Battle Wasp, Pin the Bullseye. This is just my small little suite of Battle Wasps. This one searches for these ones, and these ones special summon themselves. It's an easy way to just swarm the field. Block Spider, still have these. Run it at 3 because when you special summon them with, say, 1 for 1, then you immediately get to special summon another one. So, again, easy way to swarm the field, and they stop your opponents from attacking, so the little insect lock does kind of exist still. Beetrooper Scout Buggy. Nothing has helped this deck quite as much as the Beetroopers, because they are really good, especially the ones from Dawn of Majesty. If you pick any set to look at for Beetroopers, check out Dawn of Majesty. So, Scout Buggy just special summons more copies of itself. The Scale Bomber just special summons itself. The Sting Lancer is a good target for one of the Link monsters, and it searches for a Beetrooper spell or trap card. The Heavy Beetrooper Mighty Neptune is another interesting target for Resonance Insect, and it can special summon itself, and it's a 3,000, it's big, good stuff. Beetrooper Flying Sting is sort of a just powerful negation effect that you can search for with the Sting Lancer. And Gold Sarcophagus here. Now we're getting into the sort of standard spells and traps. Gold Sarcophagus can banish Resonance Insect right from your library to get an easy special summon and start things rolling. Ready Fusion, of course, gets a kind of useful fusion insect. Called by the Grave and Triple Tactics Talent. Now, this is my sort of hand trap answer suite. These are flex spots. I mean, this can be pretty much anything you want. These just kind of work. They're powerful effects. I like to have them. Twin Twisters is removal, and apparently I can't build a deck without it, so it's in there. And Lair Wire, bringing up the rear. These are just insect-themed traps. Again, these could kind of just be anything. You could definitely find better cards than Lair Wire, but I like it, and I think it's a nifty insect ability. You banish insects from your graveyard, so it kind of works with Resonance Insect. It's nice to have. Now we move into the extra deck, and there's some cool stuff in here, like the Absolute Hercules. 4,000, 4,000, this is the big boss monster. Yeah, it takes 4 insects to summon, but you can do some real cool stuff to get this into play. Let me tell you, just wait and see. Quaggar Hercules is the Ready Fusion target, easy special summon. Giant Beetrooper Invincible Atlas, this is like the good extra deck monster of the Beetroopers. It does a lot of stuff, very powerful. It's a Link 4, but that's not difficult to do. You saw how much special summoning goes on. Seraphim Papillon is just a powerful Link 3. You can kind of go into the big Beetrooper with it, or use it for its own effect to special summon stuff. It's, again, quite useful to have. Beetrooper Armor Horn, got a couple of these. Just Beetroopers. Just swarm the field with Beetroopers. It's not difficult. Insector Pico Felina is sort of the engine that keeps the deck running because you can shuffle your graveyard insects back into the deck to draw cards off of it. A handy ability to have. That's why I have 3 of them. Could probably go down to 2 if there was something better you wanted. Shinobi Insect, this is mostly just here because a lot of the Beetroopers lock you out of summoning non-insects. And there are a couple non-insects, so you can use this to get rid of the Beetroopers. There's so many of them, it's not difficult. And Predaplant Verte Anaconda. This is for the super polymerization. In case you are more easily able to summon this than actually play it from your hand. Handy to have, powerful ability. The Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus. Again, very powerful ability, non-insect, so that's why you sometimes don't want all those Beetroopers clogging up your field. Number 3, Cicada King, is a rank 3. You can play it kind of easily. It has cool effects that mess with the opponents. And bringing up the end of the extra deck is the Lyrilusk Assembled Nightingale. Easy to play off of Block Spiders, and it really makes summoning the Divine Arsenal Zeus kind of a trivial matter. It just easily attacks directly, and then boom, you go right into Zeus. That's that. Now, I haven't really done this before, but here are some actual alternate cards you could use, because there are a few flex spots here and there, stuff you don't necessarily need. Like, Retaliating Sea is actually a rather useful hand trap, especially if people are using spells that special summon monsters, and I hear there's a couple of those out there. Dragon Bite is a backup for really any insect that special summons itself. Like, it's a good card, it really is, but it's really redundant. There are a lot of insects that do the same thing, but maybe a little better. But, you know, if you want more insects, then by all means throw in some dragon bites. And Gardola is the other big insect kaiju. I used the other one because it's a little weaker in case I want to attack over it, but this works just as well. It's quite powerful. Heck, you can run them both if you want. It's definitely a thing you can do. Okay, so now that you've seen the basic structure of this deck, let's take a look at what some of these cards can actually do when you use them in-game. So we're gonna start with the very basic combos that I went over in my previous video, and then I'll go on to the new stuff after that. These first ones won't take long. So, of course, you have Parasite Paranoid, which is, again, kind of one of the cards that I originally had built this deck around. You attach it to one of your opponent's monsters, they become an insect, and then you can actually sacrifice your opponent's monster with Cocoon of Ultra Evolution in order to special summon something big and scary. And because of Parasite Paranoid's effect, if you just so happen to have another big scary insect in your hand, well, then you get that for free as well. Well, one from the library, one from the hand. So this is just a cool way to get your big, scary main deck bugs into play, ignoring their special summoning conditions, so you can even get some of the Beetroopers that way too. So, yeah, it's not overpowering, but it is cool, and it's kind of an old school way of playing insects, so I thought I really had to pay homage to that in my deck. Now, besides that, we also have the one-for-one play. So you play this, which allows you to special summon a block spider from your deck. Well, because it was special summoned, you get to special summon another one. And now you've got 2 level 1s, so you can actually excise out this Lyrilusk Assembled Nightingale, attack your opponent directly, which allows you to turn it into Zeus, and you can just do some crazy stuff with Zeus, and it is a 3000/3000, of course. Just an overall extremely powerful card. Good to have. It's a nice ability to be able to play this card rather simply, actually, at any time. Now, let's take a look at some new stuff. The stuff involving a lot of cards from Dawn of Majesty. So this starts with a card not in Dawn of Majesty, Resonance Insect. And then you special summon literally anything. There's a lot of bugs that special summon themselves. This shouldn't be difficult, but what you want to end up doing is sending Resonance Insect from the field to the graveyard. Such as, perhaps, by link summoning something. Whatever. Start with the Beetrooper Armor Horn. But what matters is, that went to the graveyard. And that lets you bring a large insect like Doomdozer to your hand. So, what do you do next? Well, Beetrooper Armor Horn allows you to normal summon literally anything, like an insect. So, whatever, I'm just gonna use this Shiny Black Sea Squatter to illustrate that it really doesn't matter what you normal summon, as long as it's there. There are other insects that would rather be normal summoned that actually do things when they hit the field, but that's just icing on the cake. And then you can also banish those from your graveyard to play Doomdozer. And when Resonance Insect is banished from the graveyard, well, you can send another insect from your deck to the graveyard, like Gokipole, for instance. And when this is sent to the graveyard, well, you can play another Shiny Black Sea Squatter. So now you've got a whole bunch of insects in play. And actually, what you can do, you can link these out, and you can play something like Insector Picofelina, and then shuffle these from your graveyard into your deck to draw a card. And then, there's more. You can link out, say, the giant Beetrooper Invincible Atlas, and from there things get crazy, because now you can use the Invincible Atlas, sacrifice the Doomdozer, and special summon the Beetrooper Sting Lancer, which allows you to set this Beetrooper Fly and Sting, setting up a nice little negation for yourself. Well, for the opponent. In your favor, I should say. So, that kind of illustrates just how easily these Beetroopers can chain through themselves. And remember, that was by normal summoning plain old shiny black sea squatter, not something more powerful that actually has additional effects on top of that. You could wind up with even more than this. So this is kind of the meat and potatoes of what the deck does right now. This is sort of what you're maybe looking to end on. You got a big creature, and monster, I should say. This isn't magic. And a trap card set, just in case you need it. And finally, the big brain play that we've all been waiting for. How exactly do you play the Absolute Hercules? Why is this in the deck? It is silly. Well, I'll tell you. You see, this deck happens to have a couple ways, like Parasite Paranoid or the Kaijus, a couple ways of turning your opponent's monsters into insects, or sacrificing them to play an insect on their side. So when you do that, if you've swarmed the field with other miscellaneous insects on your side, that is when super polymerization comes into play. Because then not only have you gotten rid of something of your opponent's, but you've also played a 4,000 kind of difficult to get rid of massive insect fusion monster to beat your opponent's face with. So this is why this is in the deck. It is a hilarious thing that you can do to kind of break your opponent's board. Maybe not a decent play if you're going first. In fact, it would probably be impossible, but still, it's there, just in case you want to use it. Because, like I always say, if you aren't having fun, what the heck are you doing? You've got to use stupid stuff like this. That is what makes the game worth playing. But that does also bring me to the end of this little deck profile video, so I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, a comment, subscribe, and I do hope that you join me again next time for whatever deck I might be profiling next. I don't really have any plans, but trust me, there's gonna be more deck profiles. So, till then, ta-ta. Okay, what's next? Why, oh, we've got a foil. Okay. Whoa. Oh! And our foil. Ooh, I feel like that's a good one. Oh! Hiya. And there it is. The Pot of Prosperity.